But we're just going to listen now to the leader of the Democratic Alliance, Mmusi Maimane, who is addressing an impromptu news briefing outside the chamber.
A real coalition of the ANC, EFF and the UDM that ultimately is going to undermine the people of this city. If they are true Democrats, they should have accepted the results. They should have gone out to vote today. They should have put the motion on the table. Let us vote. Let us stop this delay that is that they're now wanting to put on the table. Let us vote and make sure there's leadership here to continue with the work of government.
Has the DA's experience in this city, has it tainted coalitions for you at all?
Coalitions are important. They're the future of South Africa. They are absolutely crucial. And one of the lessons that you learn is that you must deal coalitions with parties of principle. When people say that actually our interest is in service to the people. And what took place today is the fact that clearly the ANC and with the EFF's agenda have co-opted each other to such a point that clearly we were never in coalition with the EFF or the ANC. So I can accept that they have a new alliance that seeks to undermine service delivery.
Mr. Maimane, talk to us about who actually was responsible for the motion of no confidence not going through in the morning, because the understanding is that the parties first wanted to deal with the speaker and a motion of no confidence being passed on him. What actually that process?
Well, the ANC came out, they never wanted to vote to start off with. Let me remind how the system in fact operates. You set up a program, you agree in the sense that here's what the agenda must look like, and what naturally took place today is that upon those agreements, starting time, the order was then agreed in a whippery meeting, and now suddenly the ANC wants to arrive and change the order and undermine governance and fail to deliver for the people. So actually that collapse, raising spurious points of order, simply seeking to degrade the very essence of council, has been an ANC agenda, and they had no intention today of in fact proceeding with council business.
So the Speaker could not allow, therefore, a motion to be passed on him because it wasn't, what, in the order paper?
It was certainly scheduled next. The first order to debate was to debate a vote of no confidence in the mayor, which was tabled. In fact, when we resume now at 1 o'clock, we simply asked that schedule, let's vote. Let's get on to the business of voting. So that would have taken place, and the ANC simply filibustered the process and disrupted the council and ensured that we couldn't proceed. Then next would have been naturally the speaker. It's all in the order paper. This is an ANC-EFF alliance that has got no interest in government, no interest in delivering for people, and an absolute offense of poor people in this city. Because now, with the hostage being held of tabling a budget, it means that the advancement of this government that should be done are now being held hostage.
Just finally from my side, Mr. Maimane, who gets directly affected if this adjustment budget is not passed? The understanding is that there are security guards that are going to be affected. We want to know the actual people or the sector that's affected.
Within the next month, the process is meant to go out for consultation, which means that communities get to give input. The ultimate victims of what will take place here is not municipal employees, because that budget will run until the June, July, and then the next financial year. This adjustment is about the priorities that go towards poor people, and those are the people who will feel it the most, as the EFF and the ANC simply fail to recognize the fact that it is impacting our ability to deliver services to the people. And if this matter was ever about the people of Nelson Mandela Bay, well, today should proceed. But clearly it was not. It was political gamesmanship that ultimately undermined the people of this city.
Okay, with the allegations that the Speaker is biased to the DA and also is not consistent on his rulings, what can the DA say?
How can you be inconsistent? The Speaker came out, asked every party to give its input on the matter, and clearly those parties were never interested in tabling the budget. Clearly they were never interested in voting, and therefore, as you saw even in engagements, they burst into song, simply refused to be heard. It to me made me recognize the fact that democracy as such an important institution is equally a very fragile one that can be held hostage by people who have a racist, corrupt agenda instead of, in fact, doing the business of ensuring that the council proceeds. And what the Speaker did today was consistent with the rules, ensured that the rules were being followed in council. It makes it very difficult when you have people who simply don't want to follow the rules.
Can you just tell us what happened with the scuffle earlier on? Because soon after we had members from the ANC and EFF who were calling for your removal from council chambers.
You know, when people don't even understand the very basic premise of democracy. First of all, I was not involved with any scuffle. That's been clarified. I think that would be fair to say. But councils, parliaments, legislatures are places of the people's gallery. It's where the people's business must be debated. It would not matter whether I was the leader of a party or not. I have every right to be there to ensure that, that in fact, there's transparency. So today it's me, tomorrow it's another person. Who else? Who else are they going to tell to leave? You cannot tell any member of society to leave a council, immaterial of whether you like them or not. It's the same intolerant agenda that says if we don't agree with you, we will simply use our own force and might to remove you, whatever we want. And therefore, I will not stand up for that. I will stand for principle, because tomorrow it will be someone else and they must be allowed. Let the public come out. And for you members of the media, need to be very conscious that as you saw the assault that took place in Parliament recently by one member of Parliament, tomorrow you could very well be accused your own self that you should not be covering such events and be kicked out your own self. I'm here to fight for the institutions of democracy, for if they fail, tomorrow it's someone else.
Prior to the AIC's announcement that they will be voting with Ethel Trollip, were there discussions between the DA and the AIC, and were there any positions that were offered to the AIC?
No, this is not about even positions. You can remember that the AIC is in coalition with the ANC elsewhere, and they came back to us and said, after we've been engaging with them on a number of positions, to say that they want to stand on principle. They want to also understand that there are a number of issues that they themselves are very passionate about. And therefore, this is not about an exchange for positions or whatever. That discussion can take place on a long term. We want to form a government so that we can proceed. And the AIC simply rejected, in our view, racism and wants to serve even the constituency that they represent in Matatiele, where the ANC has also betrayed them there. And this is a subtle warning even to the EFF, that be wary not to be used by the ANC. They will use you and spit you out. Zuma did that to Malema, and I fear it is going to be a repeat of the same movie again.